So this is the new My Scene, My Story photo. I actually wanted to show a clip of it on Dolly Diaries because there's a lot of details you're not even going to see really when the photo's taken. So the first thing I did before I put up the backdrop was I posed people inside the hotel so that you could like see them in the windows like in the original. And I kind of had to do that before I put up the backdrop, so it was actually one of the first things I did. So Shopping Spree Doll, Vespa, Masquerade Madness, Butterfly Punk, Glance. And then I put up a backdrop because my original theme for this photo, when I took the original, was Beach Resort. And I thought about having Shelly hang a sign up here that said Seaside Bistro, but then I realized, oh, there's already a sign there, it's Tara's Cafe, so that'll work. And I had to dig around and get these cars out of storage again. And I used both in the original photo. And I stuffed them with like sporting gear, and because of how I had to move Chelsea last minute, you can't even see all the work I put into in the photo. And I set up the luggage rack, put luggage down here. And then I let Corey, who is, I want to say movie date Ken, he is our bellhop, and Leonardo is our waiter. And a couple reasons I picked Leonardo to be our waiter. One, he actually played a waiter in an old Flickr photo from our old account. Two, he looks like a waiter. So then I wanted to make sure I had the real Leonardo and not one of my other Crystal Kens. They're doing surf and turf. And I picked Shelly's Kennedy doll that actually doesn't have the shoes to wear the shoes for this photo because Shelly made her those earrings and she just looks so pretty. I added to this photo from last time, I changed up some of the dolls who were in the hotel because I put, where is she? Miami Getaway Noli out front instead because I just like her so much and she's like beachy. I added River, who we didn't have last time. And this is Shelly's oldest surviving Madison because her first edition Madison had a hair problem. So this is Shelly's oldest surviving Madison. But she's a chill out doll, so there was no way I could work her into the photo without changing her clothes. And then Delance over here, who I think I disqualified from being in the last photo because her hair is kind of weird. She's got like cut hair, but kind of stuck her in the back so that you could see her, but not super well. I think it looks very cool, very urban and beachy. I like how I was able to use our Tonka Jeep with the flowers on the hood and one of these cars that we bought as kids at KB Toys. And I'm really enjoying retaking these photos. And the reason I was inspired by the beach hotel concept was actually because of Sutton and Jai. And Noli because they're our favorite childhood My Scene dolls. I kind of made it like a beach. I don't even put Rodolfo in here. Beach resort.
So it's really dark. This is our water heater. I came down yesterday and there was literally 2 inches of water all over here underneath the furnace, and all of this carpet, which is still on the damp side, all the way to here was soaked. So like this whole area, and in the next room I'll show you guys. So all of our doll clothes are moved over because usually we have a few bins over here, and everything that was in the closet, as you can see, was emptied out. And that's the color of the water. That was something, I used my carpet steamer to like suck up the water, and I emptied out like 3 or 4 buckets this full of water from the rugs, and there's still, like, I still need to make more passes so it doesn't get moldy down here. I had to move the bureau, which this is where all of the dolls sit, like my regular Barbies. Their containers are stacked on here. And then there's a few things we keep in the drawers, but these drawers don't really work. This was all wet because you can see this is like, the water heater's like in there. Those are the panels that cover the wall over there. Then in here, I had to move my dream house, which usually sits right there. Then there are all the houses that we keep in the closet in my parents' old room. They are currently unbagged because these bags actually got a little damp, so they're drying. That one was fine. That's the top of the 2006 dream house. Those are like Addie's bed and some other American Girl furniture, like some bins we had in the closet. And then this room is the biggest mess. This is my parents' old room. So this was the wettest part. This was soaked and it's still on the damp side. This whole closet, which is where we keep the big houses that are covered in garbage bags, was all wet up until like right before that pole in there. We had to move the bookshelves because those hold like our games and our American Girl books. It was all wet under here. This is where everything had to get moved to. All of the Barbie containers, the board games, and then in some of those bins in the pink room, those are the American Girl books. All of my like dolls that were sitting on top of that bureau are over here. The shelves had to get cleared off, and then this bad boy started to fall apart when we moved it, so it needs to be fixed. And then there was like, I don't know if that had been leaking slowly or something, but there was some kind of like mold under here, which it's all gone. We cleaned it with bleach, so that's why that looks weird and it's tipped there. And this was over there before, but that was all wet. So that is what I woke up to Monday morning, and that is what I spent like the whole day dealing with. And we still don't have hot water because we need to have the tank put in, which is not cheap. So this is just the chaos of the basement, and everything has to be 100% dry before I move anything back or it will get moldy. And that's why the fans are going to dry everything off, and that's also why I let the wood. It's been a little over 2 weeks since the hot water heater flooded. This is the new one, and we're finally at the stage where I can move things back. So obviously this whole area was flood zoned, and there was like a defined ring where you could see the water had kind of like finished dripping out. And over here on this gray carpet especially, there was like huge like orange water rings, like orange brown, and you can see there's still a few stains. I mean, this carpet was already pretty stained because our basement used to look like an episode of Hoarders. But you can also see along the wall there's like water staining here. So I didn't film me shampooing the carpets or anything, but basically what we did is I used my carpet steamer over there to soak up as much water as I could for the first few days. And then one of Colleen's friends at work lent her a dehumidifier, so we had that plugged in up until yesterday when her friend needed it back, and that took out a bunch of the moisture. And then once the carpets were dry, what I did is I shampooed them with my carpet steamer twice. The first time with bleach, so that way it would kill off any like mold cells that were potentially in there. I mean, we've had the old washing machine flooded a few times over here, and it got the carpet wet and it didn't get mold, so it's not really a problem we have in this basement. But just in case, I ran bleach through it, and then afterwards I did like a mixture of OxyClean and laundry detergent and a little extra borax to help get out like the dirty water, basically, because the water was in the rusting out water heater, and then it went all around this area, which was dirty, and just got everything filthy. So then I did that. But this gray carpet was in such pitiful shape that I knew that just using the carpet steamer alone wouldn't do anything. So I got on my hands and knees, and every bit of exposed area you see here I scrubbed out with a mixture of OxyClean and borax by hand, and then I went over it with the carpet steamer to suck up the extra water and to also, like, you know, use those bristles to clean. And I will say it came out a lot better than I thought it would. There's no more ring marks. So I didn't film that because it was a really long process. And then I also bleached down like all of the areas you see where there's like water damage, just in case, to kill off any future mold cells, and like the back of this bureau here, although it was just the very bottom that was affected, but I bleached the whole thing anyways. So now I'm going to put everything back in place. And people always ask me to do like cleaning and reorganizing videos, which isn't usually something I can do because I've already gone through so much stuff in the house. So This is kind of like reclaiming the basement after a massive tragedy like this. I mean, it looks better because I've done some like picking up since then, but obviously like there's stuff crammed. So I'm gonna move this bureau back first, and I'm gonna wipe off the dust. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the Barbie containers back on here. I'm gonna try to like rebuild every section before like moving on to the next. And if you're wondering, we've had this bureau for years, since we were like little kids. Our grandparents who worked at the Salvation Army gave us each one. The one I had, I don't know, my dad got rid of it at some point. But this used to hold like Colleen's doll stuff and toys, but most of the drawers warp, so we don't really keep much in the drawers themselves. Just like some smaller Barbie vehicles, some homemade doll stands, and that's pretty much it. We mostly just use the top. So I have all of my containers over here. There's 8 of them, and I'm gonna wipe the tops off and then put them in the order that I usually have them in. And one of the reasons why we haven't been doing lots with the dolls is because obviously it's hard to get at anything when stuff is all discombobulated. And now I have to move all of our plastic containers back to their spot right here and restack my like Bratz cases and things where they belong. I have to move this bureau back there. This is mostly empty. There's just a few American Girl doll clothes in here. Now I have to put all these board games and all of these books we put in these containers back on the shelves. Okay, so these are the 4 big houses / play sets that we keep in this closet with those trash bags covering them. So obviously we had to take the trash bags off when they got damp on the bottom just to make sure that like they didn't get moldy or anything. So the bags are dry, the play sets are dry. They've actually been for a while, but and if you're wondering about these big play sets, including the house upstairs, the 2013 dream house, the only one that we didn't get for free was this Grand Hotel. I got that for my 12th birthday, brand new at Toys R Us. And the High School Musical High School I got for $1 at the flea market. So these big play sets are actually not that hard to find for free because people don't want to have to haul them to like the Salvation Army. So yeah, the only big bad boy that actually cost us anything substantial was this one. Oh, and the other piece to the dream house, the '06 dream house, is in its own little trash bag, if you're wondering. Would you like to show your first store-bought skipper since you were a kid?
Yes, I would. So, we're out shopping for something for my friend's birthday and for animal stuff, and what else did we buy?
Oh, I needed hair.
And hair dye.
wrapper.
So we were out just running kind of boring errands, and we went to a whole bunch of stores. The only thing I found was her at Target. She was only $10 at Kmart. They were charging like $13, and I almost bought the Asian one. And if she'd been 10, I don't think I would have been able to resist. But I saw her at Kmart, not at Walmart. I like her even better. I decided to name her Alexis. It was her hair that sold me, actually.
I think she looks like Generation Girl in the Shell's little sister.
Yes, she does. She's absolutely beautiful. I love her hair. And I love her face and this like rainbow romper. I like how these almost look like Shopkins on the bottom of her outfit, like smiling French fries and stuff.
She's a Babysitter's Inc. doll.
Yep. They make a boy. And if we see the boy at any store for any price,
Weird is none of them have like names, not even the boy. I feel like Mattel should really start trying to make their dolls have more distinguishing
So I
names.
haven't bought a skipper in stores since
Was it like Pajama Fun Tote Skipper was the last one you bought?
yeah,
we got that one at Target.
5. Oh, it's funny.
It was a
Target,
4, I
Target.
think, because I remember playing with that doll a few times. Zoe. That's what
Oh
I named her.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we had her a while.
Yeah, I know we were downstairs when we got those dolls, so it was probably like '04.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten a skipper doll new since then.
Yeah, because they stopped making Skipper like towards the tail end of us playing with as kids.
I've just been lucky and found a couple of Stacy's, like, I found more Stacy than Skipper set. Oh, I have to be really careful because she has cardboard accessories.
Uh-oh, did you whip them?
Nope, came off on the...
It's okay.
And here she is. Her hair needs to be washed. It's all, like, yucky from the
It's
box.
really gross nylon. Like it's not like like what they used on Mystery Squad Kenzie. It's like really disgusting feeling. But it'll be fine like when you boil wash it because it'll
Yup,
help the poof.
I love it.
And
She's so
she
pretty.
came with accessories.
Yeah, but she came with the baby bottle, this phone, and it looks like they all come with a baby bottle phone, and then she came with paper accessories,
That's cute.
and I love the outfit. It's really cute. There's a small nick in her dress when we're taking her out of the box.
Yeah, this fabric's very thin, but it's soft. It's nice and soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right there.
But she's adorable. I really like her, and I like her little shoes. I mostly bought her because I just liked a naked doll, so I mean, liking her outfit so much is a bonus. What's going on, Ron? Bloody hell, Howie. I think we missed the train. Oh no! How are we ever going to get to school? Let me think. I've got it! The car, Howie! The car? I don't know, Ron. Doesn't seem like a good idea. No, it'll be brilliant. Come on. Oh, you're right, Ron. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I told you it was bloody brilliant. I see the train. Now we just gotta follow into Hogwarts. Okay. Sorry, that was extremely immature, but I've been wanting to do that since I got a Ron doll.
So my last episode of Dolly Diaries, I said I would update you guys on Hunter and Cedar, who I needed to do like glue removal treatments on. So Hunter is still waiting to get new flocking. I've just been like so busy that I've kind of had to neglect him over there. He did get another bath though at some point. But Cedar's hair is all done and it's really perfect. There's no glue. It's super soft. It's super shiny, very bouncy. So I'm really impressed with how this turned out. So I'm gonna put her back downstairs where she belongs. So I made 2 more backdrops today, and I made another one the other day, but I already put that one away. So we have this guy, this guy, and that guy, and this is wrapping paper. It's going to be a Christmas themed backdrop. Oh, and you're probably wondering what's different in this room. So basically, after the basement flooded, while nothing got ruined, there was one thing. There's only one thing that got damaged, and it wasn't actually in the flood zone. It was one of these backdrops, and I think what happened is because it was so like moist down there, some of the cardboard sucked up the moisture, and it was on one of the very first backgrounds like this I made. I hadn't used like a really good glue to stick things down. I used like spray glue. And what ended up happening is that the moisture was able to separate between the layers of the clear contact paper, and it got all into the cardboard and actually got moldy in like a few days. It was awful. So we decided, just so that would never happen, I made room up here for all of my backgrounds. You can see there's a lot. And everything else is pretty much the same. I just have like some paper I moved down here. Those are my scrapbooks. Everything else is the same. So I bought this guy here at Ocean State Job Lot for $35, and all of the bins are from the dollar store. I'll probably eventually get more. I just bought 6 to start with. So I had 2 little things of drawers. I have a whole video on how I organized this room before, because most of this is like doll related, like craft stuff. So those things are downstairs. You might see me reorganize them somewhere later in this video. I will eventually use them for doll stuff. Those were both things I got for free. I still have this guy, which was the first thing I bought for this room when Colleen and I went to organize it. And it's pretty much the same, but I've just put my fabric in there instead of my paint. So this is like, you probably can't see, that's my ribbon. That's like all of my lace and random scraps of things that I use to make headbands. These are fabric scraps. That's all my paint. This is like my sealers, palettes, my epoxy stuff. And then this is just felt and my stuffing. And these are just things that are temporarily here, like my flowers and things I use to make headbands. These are recycled Ziplocs from when we've been rebagging stuff. And then this is just like folders and things, and then that's my mending basket, which isn't going to stay there. And this is Woody. Little known fact, when I first got back into dolls in 2011, I actually did kind of dabble in collecting other toys, specifically Toy Story things, and I have quite a few Toy Story like figures and things. But when I needed more room for my dolls, specifically my Snow White dolls, I took them down and I put them in the basement, and they haven't come out since. So, you know, like, contrary to what people may think, I'm actually not a hoarder. I do actually go through and get rid of other things on a regular basis, and recently Colleen and I went and like we purged our entire troll collection, except like literally I think 5 that were really special to us. A bunch of like Littlest Pet Shop stuff we had, except a few special pieces, things like that. So we each picked out a Woody, and these were the 2 Woodies that we remembered my dad buying for me. So there's the little guy that you saw, and then there's one in Colleen's room that she remembered him picking out for me. So yeah, I don't really, generally speaking, collect other toys because I just don't do much with them. But I have like my Batmans, who used to be in my room. I have a picture of them on Flickr. And then I have like a few little Hello Kitty figurines I'll show you in a second, and then now these 2 Woodies, stuffed animals, things like that. We also got rid of a bunch of our Beanie Babies. I just donate stuff when I don't want it because it's just easier, and you know, I like to help people who are looking for a good deal too. So that's why there's a Woody over there. And then in Colleen's room, that is her Woody that she wanted to pick out. And then in here, these are some of my Hello Kitty toys. So these are really special. I have a house too that goes with the like bear, this Hello Kitty, and the bunny back there. I don't know their names. I'm not a huge Sanrio buff, so I apologize. But I got these at Target the last summer my mom was alive. So this lamb came with the restaurant, and then I wanted Colleen to play with this like with me, so I had her pick out one, and I think I bought it too with my allowance money, and she picked out the panda. And we used to play these crazy games where they would be like bad waiters, or like she would be the waiter and she would be the crazy customer, and they talked in accents, and we did all kinds of strange things. So of course I had to keep this set, and I moved some of my dad's toy trucks over to accommodate them. I do want to clean them at some point, but we just stuck them in there for now. So yeah, that is Hello Kitty. And if you're wondering why I love Hello Kitty, it's actually because the last time my mom ever took me clothes shopping was in spring 2002, and I had never been in a Target at that point. There weren't any like locally, and they opened up like this shopping plaza about a half an hour away from us, and we went into Target the first time to do some clothes shopping, and they had a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff in the kids section, and I just fell in love with it. And I always think of my mom when I think of like Hello Kitty, and so I got really into that. And then after my mom passed away, it was something me and my dad did together. Like, he would buy me like a Hello Kitty comforter for Christmas, and I had like a ton of Hello Kitty stuff. I used to wear like Hello Kitty from head to toe. So yeah, she's really special to me because she reminds me of both my parents, and I have some of my Hello Kitty things still. Obviously a lot of it was closed, so I don't have those anymore. But that's the story of me and Hello Kitty. I'm not gonna see much in here because of how bad the lighting is, because of the time of day it is. But those are My Little Ponies. They've already been in videos, but these are the trolls we kept. So we had probably like 50 at some point. And mine, the only one I kept is this guy in the chef outfit. His name is Papa. And so we had good times with the trolls. You can see that I filled in all around his head. I don't know what that is. It's like a little bit of glue or something. So he doesn't have glue anymore. His hair is really soft and nice, and the missing flocking got patched. You can see more so on camera, like, the difference, and it's not so much the color, it's the texture. The factory flocking is really soft, whereas the non-factory flocking is a bit rougher. But at least he's not, like, you know, missing hair, and I'm gonna put him away. And he's not wearing shoes right now because he doesn't wear those in storage because they have so many painted details. So this is where I'm gonna end the video, because I have plenty of footage for this episode, and Colleen and I are going to be starting like the holiday edition of Dolly Diaries. So stay tuned for that, coming probably sometime at the very end of December or the beginning of January. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.